let me tell you, I need to always say when I went on Metro, one of the first songs that I played on vinyl was this song. Because I bought the vinyl.
Yeah,
and I remember vividly, as it was playing on air, Notemba calls, Glen, I'm like, it's Joe.
All the things your man won't do.
I still have it. Imagine a ballad on vinyl, on wax. Like
That's because you're a ballad lover. You're a ballad lover.
You know why I bought
it? Proof.
No, but you know why I bought it? Because I thought it would be great for radio. It would be amazing for radio. I only played it on radio.
That's a good save.
It ended there.
Okay, that's a good save.
And
that's a good save.
All the hookies.
I love them. Hello, Africa, Tlaku.
You do it.
Okay, so for Hello Africa, we're going to Gqeberha today. This is lovely. We are we're playing the song She Be Queen by Umle from Gqeberha.
Aha. Glenzido Super Drive business rep, Kanyisela Malebe, investment analyst, is in the building at 5:20.
And then it's the Friday mix at 5:30 today. We've got Brino Soul.
Bona, it's a vinyl mix.
Yes, please.
Uyodlala iwax, kuyokhala nina abantu abadala. It will take you back to the 90s.
Hey, buddy, it's me, your car. Wow, we've been through a lot over the years, eh? Many roads, many towns, so many memories. But listen, it's time to move on, eh? Go and get yourself a fresh new ride. But just promise me one thing. Let me go the right way. Let me go to We Buy Cars. We Buy Cars, the best way to sell your car by far.
Chat to Outsurance about a possible saving on your car insurance. They helped 53-year-old Vanessa with a monthly saving of 432 rands to insure her white 2019 Mazda CX-5 2-litre. That's 432 rands back in her pocket each and every month. SMS out to 37221 for a quote. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent and reviewed annually. T's and C's apply.
Life, love and all. Recap.
Talking how do we eradicate GBV? We've got Lindiwe Ntuli on the line. Lindiwe is a GBV activist.
The thing that makes gender-based violence to continue as it is, we are faced with existing gender disparities as a country. We are faced with challenges whereby women are either unemployed or underemployed. We live in a situation whereby there's so much around urban crime. For an example, there's substance abuse that is taking place in our community, and also the issues of patriarchy also plays a role. But the other thing that is causing it to escalate, the issue of silence.
This is Life, Love and All with Mzaca on Radio 2000.
Stay in touch with us. Twitter at Radio 2000_ZA.
Cortez, Mzaca on Radio 2000, our music, your memories. Yeah, we're dilly-willing. We're chilling-willing, if you know what I mean. Youth and dollar, chilly-willing. Yeah, vanning booze eight ratin. Youth and dollar, man. I can't come here and teach you straight language, man. You've got nephews and nieces. You must ask them, when Glenzito says chilly-willing, what does he mean by that? Don't ask me at a gig. Lelo, what do I mean, my friend? There's an actor who used to sound like this. What do I mean, my friend? Hey, Gere, we're chilly-willing.
You sound like a wannabe politician, actually.
Like who? Which one?
I don't know. Like you are wanting to advise us about something.
There used to be an actor who used to sound like this.
Which one was that?
South African. I can't remember his name. What do I mean
Ken
when
Gump?
I say... not him. What do I mean when I say we're chilly-willing?
Chilly-willing.
Yes.
It means you're chilling and having a good time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will style.
Upholile.
Exactly. You think
Magula Promotions is thrilled to announce its third annual Malibongo Tribute to Women Festival. It's happening on the 9th of August on Matlagu's birthday in Johannesburg. In Joburg. In Joburg at the Emerentia Botanical Gardens.
Beautiful place.
Join them to celebrate women through music and dance in a warm, safe and family-friendly environment. Festival goers can look forward to the likes of Zonke, Zix Bantwini, Ami Faku, Sanel Musician, Simi, Uncle Waffles is even going to be there. And Nompundo. Tickets are only 195 rands.
That's cheap.
Excluding booking fee, and are available online at web tickets and Pick and Pay stores. So there you go.
Are you not the MC?
A festival celebrating women on the 9th of August at Emerentia Botanical Gardens, brought to you by Magula Promotions.
Magula. You must be the MC. It's
exhausting.
For 4 hours.
And people forget to bring you food.
Exactly. The funny thing is, as an MC, you see these artists come and go. They perform for an hour, they go. No,
but I mean, you're doing it also out of love. Out of love and talent.
No. Have you been an MC during winter?
Exhausting.
I have.
During winter, it's horrible. And you see all these artists, they come and go.
They must just not remember to bring you a plate, that's all.
So the
and
artist
water.
comes, Umaporisa comes, adlala an hour, akholi 40,000 actually lapho. Ayodlala another 40. When umile ngale file yakho le standard overcharge.
Awujuluki that time. So we've got a topic today, guys, before we go to the headlines, right? A vocalist what is it? Is it Nsincha?
Yeah, Nsincha.
She recently explained the making of the song Musica Feliz, which she features in, right? She defines the meaning of the songs in the lyrics to the song as happy music, right?
Yes.
So we're asking you, what are some of the popular songs or most popular songs that you've always sang along to without knowing the lyrics or understanding the meaning until much later? Like Ngamudira, what we were discussing yesterday.
Yeah, like we're discussing yesterday.
Yeah.
Like Ngamudira, mourir.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Karamanal. Yeah, there's a lot of songs, especially because I also love Latin house.
Yeah, the songs like Maradona. Remember, Maradona. We sing along to that song all the time. We don't know.
Even
what
this
sing
other
along
song,
to.
Cada vez que te veo.
Yes.
And up to this day, 20 years later, and that's Bateta Gandon.
That's what we're discussing today.
SABC News. Independent and impartial.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Evelyn Tongwani. In the headlines, KwaZulu-Natal Premier Sihle Zigalala has resigned, and President Cyril Ramaphosa says an imbizo will be convened this weekend between government and community of Kagiso, west of Johannesburg. And finally, the 10 protesters killed during recent anti-UN demonstrations in the Democratic Republic of Congo have been buried. Details at 4.
Let us kick it off with some rugby news in this hour, where the All Blacks will hope for a fast start against South Africa in their rugby championship opener tomorrow to defuse the threat of their bomb squad replacements. Now, Erasmus's Springboks actually used their bench players there to actually have like a great impact there in winning the Rugby World Cup. That was back in 2019, bringing on powerful forwards in the second half to actually grind terms down with physical intensity. Now, his successor, Jacques Nienaber, has actually stuck with the same tactic there, keeping a 6-2 split of forwards there, as well as the backs on the bench for the clash at the Mbombela Stadium. That is tomorrow, a few weeks after his team actually crushed Wales 30-14 with a dominant last quarter in the series decider. The All Blacks, meanwhile, are coming off a 2-1 home series loss to Ireland, having been slow out of the blocks there in their 2 defeats out in Dundee as well as Wellington. Meanwhile, in football news, Eric Ten Hag's first competitive game as Manchester United manager on Sunday should actually herald a fresh start for the Red Devils, but familiar failings behind the scenes have actually made the Dutchman's job quite difficult. Now, Ten Hag's predecessor, that is Ralph Rangnick, he actually signed off from his miserable caretaker spell last season by actually stating that United squads actually needed some open heart surgery and up to 10 new players after labouring to a 6th place finish in the Premier League. And in cricket news, the International Cricket Council is optimistic of retaining the game's all-format players despite their mounting workload in a busy calendar, according to Chief Executive Jeff Allardyce. Now, England's talisman, that is Ben Stokes, he actually quit the 50 overs format last month, citing an unsustainable schedule, while India's Virat Kohli has been vocal about the growing workload on players. Now, when it comes to some franchise-based league players there and the ICC's own plans, they have one global event every year. Then have also added that strain to the calendar when it comes to players. Now, Allardyce says that players prioritizing various formats was not a new phenomenon, and that the current calendar had somehow backlogs from when the pandemic had actually caused several series to be postponed. In the name of the game, right here on the Transito Super Drive, I am Lelo Mzaca.
From Saturday, 9th of July 2022, the Saturday Night Show with Lelo Mzaca has been moved to the 3 to 6 time channel, and the Weekend Sports Show with Rachel has been moved to 6 to 9 p.m. This is to accommodate the rugby incoming series. All matches will be carried live on Radio 2000. This will be the case until the 24th of September. Radio 2000, our music, your memories. Stellenbosch, we've got you covered. 97.4 FM. Feel good music.
Great music in the afternoon. The Glen Super Drive. Love, love. I found love. It's Blaze. Good afternoon to you. It's Radio 2000, our music, your memories. It's a Friday, yo. So we have Fashionable Fridays coming up. In a second, we'll be talking to Jabu Lile. I don't know if I've heard a song like that. Jabu Lile. Am I wrong? Yeah, Jabu Lile. Is that a song like that?
No, I haven't heard it.
Jabu Lile. Anyway, so we'll be chatting to Jabu Gwala. Jabu is the founder of Siko Republic. Siko Republic. When we return.
Pull up to the party, through the doors, red tribe, wish list, tatty brochure, low price birthday for sure, big save, big flex.
It's ShopRite's birthday where you can flex more with big savings. Like 2 kilos tastic rice and 500 grams fatties and moni spaghetti or macaroni, both just 39 Rand. And 5 kilos Goldie or Farmer's Choice frozen chicken portions, only 169.99 each. Valid till 7 August. Be a big saver, be a big flexer. Only at ShopRite.
Taung, we've got you covered on 98.4 FM. Feel good music.
Yes. So Siko Republic is an activewear brand that features a signature Nguni print and was created with the African body shape in mind. My body, by the way. So the brand has showcased in Switzerland. I've never been to Switzerland, guys. I'd love to go to Switzerland.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Even during winter, ne?
Yeah, it's
lots
stunning.
of chocolate, ne? But very expensive.
Very expensive chocolate.
You see. I need a blesser. And it has been won by Miss SA's top 10 finalists. We have in the studio Jabu Gwala, founder of Siko Republic. Hello, Jabu.
Hi, Mr. Glen. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
Are you well?
I'm well.
Have you ever met before?
No.
Never bumped into each other?
No.
You've never been to my gigs?
I've been to your gigs, but I've never met you. The proximity today is different.
That's good enough. You've been there. So good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Delighted to have you. So tell us, what's behind the name? Because, firstly, we need to know the name. Because people just don't come up with names in Mahala nje.
Yeah.
Siko Republic.
So Siko is a Zulu Nguni word for amasiko,
right?
Which is our traditions.
Yeah.
And that's why we sort of landed up with that name, because we are a brand that celebrates our traditions and our culture.
Yes.
And then Republic is around community, is around saying that this is a community of, fitness enthusiasts that really love our heritage and our culture.
Absolutely fantastic. So obviously you're jumping into a very big market, huge market. I always say, because I love clothes anyway, so I can just wake up and just go to a mall and jump from one store to the other. And I always say, when you go to a mall, it's just amazing.
Yeah,
almost 65% of the stores are selling clothes, right? Not food, but clothes. So this market obviously is also dominated by major international brands. How did you get to, identifying the gap in this market for your product?
So I love going to gym. I've always been a big gym fanatic.
Yes.
And when I started shopping for gym wear, like deliberately, and not just, okay, I need a tight or I need a crop top, but literally saying I want to dress up for gym.
Yes.
Monday to Saturday, because I used to go 6 times a week. I then started to pay attention as to what was available in the stores, and I realized that there was nothing with the African aesthetic. So I said, instead of maybe writing a note and sending something to the international brands, maybe let me explore starting something that will showcase our heritage and our prints in a way that I think South Africans and the rest of the African diaspora will enjoy. It is not an easy market.
No.
It's not activewear is not easy at all, especially because it's also not big in South Africa.
No.
So when you even sourcing for fabrics, you are very limited to what you can find. So I've always known that there is an entry that I want to enter with in the market, and as I grow,
I will then, get a little bit more technical. But athleisure is the fastest growing segment in fashion globally. So there is definitely space for us to also have something that represents us, that we can actually say, when I always play around with my son, I always just call it Nike in Wakanda. And yeah, that's how Siko Republic came about. I just said...
Yeah. And I think what I also find interesting, and active wear, people just don't wear it because they're going to the gym.
Yes.
Because it's easy to wear. Because I will sit at a coffee shop, because normally I sit outside next to the parking. I promise you, a majority of women who will jump out of their cars,
they're wearing leggings and t-shirts because people want to be comfortable now. And I think that's the biggest driver of the,
so there's a market
growth.
There
is a massive market in athleisure way.
Yeah.
People are just, choosing comfort more and more every day.
Absolutely. So why was it important for the brand to have an African aesthetic or, identity?
So for me, I've always loved our culture. So I grew up in Katlehong, so I'm a Joburg girl, and I went to Mapanga.
Ah, yes, Mapanga section. I know Mapanga section there. I used to have a friend there, Mzaca, in Mapanga section.
Yeah, that's home for me. So I grew up there. So I've always loved playing, and then when I went to varsity, I went to KZN.
Yeah.
And for the first time, I actually got exposed that I'm Zulu, but I'm not really Zulu, because the Zulu here is different from
the language
the KZN, But when I was in KZN, doing my my degree, or studying my degree, I then got to appreciate more what our culture actually is, just seeing all the Zulu rituals that I never got to experience when I was here. So that is why when I started to think about, okay, how can I contribute into this activewear space, because I love gym, I then said I want to then bring in the part of our heritage, because as I think even globally, we're all, starting to be more aware and more conscious of what it is that we wear. There are many brands that have also, gone before us in different sectors where they've said, our prints and our heritage, it doesn't have to be just a special occasion. I only wear this on when I'm going to a wedding kind of setup. So I said, okay, I've seen it when it comes to like luxury wear. I see it coming up in different spaces when we go to our weddings. Why don't we just also bring it into our everyday wear and put it into our active wear, as especially, someone who loves to exercise.
Yeah, you're on Radio 2000. Fashionable Fridays is what we're doing today. We're chatting to the founder of Siko Republic, Jabu. Very interesting, Jabu. You mentioned that, you grew up in Gauteng, but there's so much that you learned when you went to KZN.
Yes.
And which is something I tell a lot of people, sometimes you think you are in Johannesburg. A lot of people think you are in Gauteng.
Yeah.
They envy you. They think you're exposed to a lot of things, only to find that you are always stuck in the township every day.
That's true.
You don't meet different people.
Yeah.
And I got to learn different things. I think when I left Joburg, when I started my first radio gig, I went to Toyando.
Nice.
Very small. From Toyando, I went to Mafikeng. And I met people from all corners of the country. And, I learned so much. I got to appreciate a lot of things, of things that I didn't get to get access to when I was in Johannesburg, because everybody thinks, you say most of us were always stuck in the township, and not knowing better. So I'm glad that you are raising that point. And
the depth that comes from other places.
Absolutely.
I think here everything is so rushed, and we get a little bit of everyone, which is nice. But once you then move into a space where you can experience, whether you even when you go to Toyando and you experience their culture, and how deep you can go with it, that for me I've also found quite beautiful.
Absolutely fantastic. I think most people, when you think about starting a clothing brand, whether it be clothes, shoes, the first thing that that comes to mind is manufacturing. Well, who does it? Where do you start? If there are any manufacturing companies in South Africa, how good are they, and how professional are they?
So manufacturing in SA, of course, was hit really hard when everybody moved to China, right? But the skill is still available. So when we started Siko, I think we spent at least a year or two just trying to find the right manufacturers. So the first part is, where do I find them?
Yeah.
And then the second part is the ones that do exist. They're very, very closed.
Yeah.
So when you do find them, the first question is, how did you find us? And you're like, but why does that matter? I'm going to pay you. I need a service. So there's those two dynamics. One being the fact that the guys that are there that are really good, that are supplying the big chains and all of that, usually just don't even want to entertain small guys.
Small people.
They're just like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to stop my production line to make you 100 crop tops. I make big volumes. But for me, I would still say, we made a conscious decision to say we don't want to go to China.
Yeah.
We want to contribute to, increasing employment in SA. We want everything to be made locally, and then we can export to the rest of the world. And that comes with its own challenges. And I will say to anybody who wants to start clothing, or, you want to now manufacture your own shoes, just go to the people who have done it. And I know, people are not always, forthcoming with who their manufacturer is, and I get that, I think we need to also move away from that kind of mentality of blocking each other.
Yeah, because I think if you are a manufacturer, chances are I'm not even going to compete with you. I'm targeting a different market. I've met a lot of people, designers, when you ask them, so who's your...
I don't want to tell.
Very cagey about it.
And I think we also need to learn, especially as a community, to not be so stingy with information. If I'm doing gym wear, I have my own interpretation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone else has their own.
No one is going to steal your story.
Nobody wants to steal your story.
Yeah.
And I always use the Puma and Adidas brothers.
Yes.
They've been existing for forever.
And
they
they
are
walked away from each
brothers.
other. Yes.
Yeah. So there's enough room for everyone. So I'd say just start with the people who are doing it, and go to all of them. Someone will say something to you. You will get some information, and then also do your research. And see who you can find, check online. Now it's becoming better, where a lot of manufacturers are coming back into business.
Yes.
There's a lot of movement into local production, even for the bigger guys, which then causes other problems, which means as a small guy, you get even more kicked out. But the manufacturing is again starting up in SA. So if this is a space that you want to be in, do your research, ask the questions, and you'll be surprised. Someone might just point you in the right direction.
Yeah, because the people at Proudly SA are very helpful as well.
Yes.
Yes. They've got those contacts in case you need some information. So tell us about your brand. How much has it grown ever since you started?
Sure. I feel like the growth of Siko is. It has been truly exponential, year on year.
Yeah.
We started in 2018 and we launched at a women's health fitness event, and it was our first time. Literally, we took stock from Durban, drove straight to the event, and from there we have been really, really surprised at how the community has really, really showed us love. We've had a lot of influences, and I'll say, we've had someone like a Tusombedu, someone like Nathi wear our products, and Takis wear our products, because then they have a following. It just gave us, an extra pair of eyes that then allowed us to get into spaces like, Brand SA, get to Proudly SA, get to Miss South Africa. And Miss South Africa then opened, international markets for us, because when we dressed the top 10 finalists, it was the year after, Zozi became Miss Universe. So everybody was watching to see who's going to replace Zozi. And we then happened to be in with them that year. So the growth has been really, really exponential. And recently we've just started working with brands. And we've just had, our Nike in Wakanda pursuit. We've just signed a partnership with Kosafa to start to produce, some of their gear. So we've also just pushed ourselves to say that if we want to be a sporting brand, we need to learn and look at how other sporting brands have, grown over time, and how do they then start to cement themselves in that space. So we have now just started doing work with Kosafa and getting into that soccer space, and we are hoping that we will continue to grow from there.
Excellent. Speaking about collaborations. I see that Tebo Magugu has just collaborated with Adidas. I mean, obviously you just mentioned, Nike and Kosafa. These some of the things that you jump. Would you jump at an opportunity?
Oh my goodness, I would jump. And in fact, Adidas is one of the most refreshing brands right now. They did a collaboration with Rich Mnisi.
Yeah.
They've done a collaboration with Gucci. I feel like, whoever is, leading, and Ivy Park.
Amazing.
Their collaborations, you can see that the brand is continuing, to keep their hand on the pulse of culture, and partnering and collaborating with different players. So obviously Adidas is a holy grail right now.
Yeah.
Their moves are quite significant, and I can't wait to see actually what they'll come up with Tebe.
I've already seen a couple of pictures.
Oh wow, that's stunning. Yeah, the Rich Mnisi actually also looked really dope.
Absolutely.
And for me, when I see collaborations like that, when global brands start to make moves like that, it is very, very encouraging, because it shows that they also are hungry for contributing positively into the culture. When you see a big fish take a small fish and kind of do something beautiful with them, it's quite encouraging. So Adidas,
because I think they still need that street cred.
Yes.
Because younger people, back in the days, Gucci was worn by older people because they could afford.
Yes.
But now you have 19-year-olds, 22-year-olds who can afford. So if you want the street cred, then you do collaborations with, with other labels, street cred labels. And then you'll get that association. So that is great, man. So for guys, Dololo.
No.
Lelo wants some tights. My colleague there, Lelo, funama tights there.
No, we've got tights for you, Lelo. Don't worry.
Make them tight, Make them very tight.
But no, so we started the brand with the female collection, especially because females are adventurous. We like to play around with our clothes. Guys are very loyal. A guy will tell you, I only wear a tight from here, I only wear a t-shirt from here. So we're like, okay, as a small player, let's start with what we can actually provide a solution to.
Cool.
But now we are getting into guys. So we've got jackets that we launched early this year that have done really, really well. We've actually got gifts for you guys.
Thank you very much. Listen, I didn't even look at the time. We've got the news. I got carried away. Listen, thank you so much for chatting to us, and all the best moving forward.
No problem.